Hey, it's Geoff Calkins for the Commercial Appeal. Today's mission, as we look forward to this debate, is to figure out what impact it'll have and what people will remember and take away from it. And the only way to do that is to look back and see what was important in past debates. What do people remember? Do they remember great policy discussions? Do they remember who was the most thoughtful on this particular nuance? No. What they're going to remember, and this is my prediction, isn't great policy discussions, but is moments, single moments that may or may not mean anything. Look at your watch, whatever those moments are, those are the moments that they're going to remember that crystallize everything they think about a candidate and indeed will fuel what they do in the voting booth. It seems silly, but that's my bet. That's what we're going to find out. That's just my guess, but we're going to go find out right now. The question is, what debate moments do you recall from years past?
Lloyd Bentsen comment.
Okay, what did he say? Can you do your Lloyd Bentsen? Do your best Lloyd Bentsen for me.
Senator Quayle, John Kennedy was a friend of mine. I knew John Kennedy. You are no John Kennedy.
I served with Jack Kennedy. I knew Jack Kennedy. Jack Kennedy was a friend of mine. Senator, you're no Jack Kennedy.
Do you feel for Dan Quayle in that moment? All of a sudden,
yeah,
bam, he's hit with the hammer.
Yeah, but it was deserved.
As human beings, we have limited mental capacity. We're not going to memorize an entire 90-minute exchange. What we will memorize is that moment that stands out for some reason, is different from the expectations. Well, the way you depart from expectations is you do something that's dramatic.
Admiral Stockdale, your opening statement, please, sir.
Who am I? Why am I here?
No one knew, and he didn't know. That was easy. Everybody's waiting. This is the first time most people have seen him. He's come out of nowhere. He's old. He looks different. He doesn't look like the prototypical candidate. And the first thing he says was, "Who am I? Why am I here?" And the whole country says, "Yeah, that's our question." And he didn't answer it.
The Republican candidate, Vice President Richard M. Nixon, and the Democratic candidate, Senator John F. Kennedy.
But I do remember the Kennedy-Nixon debate.
Do you remember? Okay, so were you one of the people who, radio or TV?
I was a little girl, and I remember my dad watching it, of course, on black and white television. I remember just thinking, gosh, Richard Nixon doesn't sound like he's really knows what he's talking about, and John Kennedy sounded so polished and so professional and looked so professional. It has nothing to do with qualifications at all. It has to do with how much charisma that you have and whether or not you can convince people to follow you and how much money that you have for your campaign.
I've said all my life I think that people who are older, people who are bigger, men particularly, have a much better chance at what they want to accomplish than someone that doesn't, that is smaller.
People who are larger. Now, I have to say, you are not a giant yourself, sir.
No, I know.
That's right.
And I know that. I'm 5'7.5", maybe 5'8" when I was taller.
Are there moments that you remember from them? Which ones?
Well, the vice presidential. Now, who was that general that was sweating? Poor guy, Schwartz general.
Voters are engaged in what academics call person perception. You see somebody and you evaluate them, and you make some sort of decision based on that evaluation. That evaluation doesn't require taking a test. You look at them, and as you interact with them, you make a sort of summary judgment.
What it comes down to is moments. What it comes down to is, predictably in our society, sound bites.
I am not going to exploit for political purposes my opponent's youth and inexperience.
It's at least unscripted.
You know, I wasn't going to say this at all, but I can't help it. There you go again.
Unless, of course, it's scripted. But it's at least mostly unscripted. And you will have a chance to watch McCain, to watch Obama, as we try to answer that eternal question, who are we and why are we here?